In the Know with OVERYT.
At Bali Ugeta.
And if you don't know, now you know, nigga.
Okay, so like right now it's actually about that time for In the Know.
Yes.
And we're basically going to be talking about like endorsement deals. So basically what we do now, especially with the questions and all that, we try to like link the question to the actual In the Know content and all that stuff. So now we're talking about brands and whatnot, brands and artists, collaborating and all that now. So now we're going to be unpacking like endorsement deals, what is a music endorsement deal and how does it actually work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the question is, how do musicians get these endorsement deals?
Okay, cool. So now getting involved in music endorsement deals is a huge undertaking. So the most important thing is to make sure that you get a written agreement and that you understand everything involved and how, and basically how the process works and why it's different to, what a music sponsorship deal is. So now you can sell yourself as an artist and a business asset.
Word. And I feel like endorsement deals between musicians and brands should actually be like a win-win, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you need to demonstrate that you are viable as a viable commercial investment for these organizations, right? And I think that the best chances for these deals will come when you're an established artist with a proper fan base.
Okay, so now with that being said, what do you think is a music endorsement deal? Because now we just dropped something before now. Like, what do you think a music endorsement deal is?
Well, music endorsements are when an artist is directly affixing their name to a certain company or product. You know what I mean? It's quite different to music sponsorship deals. It means that the artist is endorsing and approving the product and confirming to the audience that they use it exclusively.
Okay.
And this means that the company or product benefits from the exposure that an artist is giving it and the artist that benefits in payment. So the bigger the value of the deal, the more money you as an artist will receive.
And I think by endorsing this product now, your fans are like basically putting faith in you that this product is good as it's worth and it's basically worth spending money on. So now it's very important that artists protect their interests of their brand so that they team up with companies and products whose values, ideals and perceptions are not detrimental to their own. And it's also important that it's actually a good match. So now we're in studio with our homie by the name of Avela from Stitches and all that, man. How you doing, my king?
Hey man, feeling great, amazing.
Where to spawn? So now so we're talking all things endorsement deals and all that stuff now, and like you basically a brand on the come up and all that now. So now like in terms of like what we're talking about, is this something that you're looking to be doing?
Straight, yeah. Especially I feel like every brand looks into endorsing someone, especially when they want to uplift their brand, promote.
Right.
Yeah, using especially influential people, because I feel like with connection you get to higher places, because all in all you can't do it alone.
Exactly, and that's why basically we here and all that, you know what I'm saying, with AV and all that. So now let me just ask you, P, what do you think the difference is between an endorsement and a sponsorship deal?
All right, so endorsing a product means you are saying to your audience that I, as yes, I use this brand and I use it exclusively, you know what I'm saying? It means that they dictate a greater responsibility than sponsorships.
Exactly. And for me, I think sponsorships even work differently because it means that the brand is aligned to the artist in a broader sense. You know what I'm saying? So now you might see a company's logo on a poster or on a tour bus or on stage. The sponsorship deals are worth less because the artist is not like endorsing the product or claiming that they use it, and they do not hold the same responsibility for the firm's reputation.
All right, so now which do you think are the top musician endorsements and sponsorship deals?
I think, in my perspective now, I think equipment brands, clothing and fashion brands, as well as food and drink brands. Yeah.
So now, how do I approach a sponsorship or an endorsement deal as an artist?
That's a very good question there. I think going into a deal like that is a business arrangement which will give a commercial return into the company involved, and it will benefit the artist financially too. So now artists will have to prove that they are valuable commercial partner that will deliver the results.
Word. And I feel like you also need to consider whether you have a sponsorship policy or not. And if not, you need to create one, because I feel like essentially it will outline the objectives and the administrative processes which are involved, as well as the accountability and responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So you'll also need a marketing and promotions plan to ensure that you get the best coverage, and therefore you have the best chance of making a deal a success.
So now stay tuned for part 2 of In the Know. show with Balloon Getsang as well as the OVERYT coming through to you live and direct. Where we're going to be talking about, how this whole thing works now with regards to endorsement deals. What do you have to do, as part of the music endorsement deal? And what's the best way to attract attention from potential sponsors? But anyway, it's part 2 of In the Know,
yes.
Where we're talking about, endorsement deals and all that stuff. So now, can I just ask you, P, how do you think, endorsement deals actually work?
Okay, so the most important part of this process is ensuring that you have a written agreement, right?
Okay.
Which clearly articulates all the points of the deal, right? Mm-hmm. And in most cases, brand sponsorships or endorsement deals are very similar and see both the musician and the brand agreeing to certain factors in exchange for the other party's performance.
So now, I think it means that, the artist has the responsibility of completing a list of duties which are recognized as, deliverables and all that. So now, in exchange for the artist carrying out these duties, the artist will be entitled to compensation through, a different manner or form. So now, this could be, free goods, money, or product discounts. So now, what an artist receives is totally different from one deal to the next. Yeah.
Totally. Avela, what's your take on that?
I feel like whatever the brand is willing to offer, it can work.
Yeah.
Straight.
Okay, so like since you're a startup and all that now, and you're also like looking to work with like brands that are on the come up as well, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think your starter would be, and like how would it be like beneficial to you?
I feel like personally as a brand, just making sure every item you manufacture is top notch, and you get traction from other people straight.
Okay, cool. So now I think in terms of the contracts and all that stuff now, the contract may include a certain number of shows, performances, appearances that you as an artist must do on behalf of the company during the term of the agreement. So now this could include product placement in music videos or photo shoots, or while taking part in an interview during a live performance.
Okay, so now what do I have to do as a part of the music endorsement deal?
I think it could also like require you to include the company or the brand's logo on your website or social media platforms, or require you to do paid sponsorship adverts on your social media platforms.
Yeah, and I think this all goes to show just how important written agreements are. Because you wouldn't want to find a couple of months down the line that you were being forced into doing something you weren't aware of, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you have read the contract and understand exactly what you are being asked to do.
And I think also like expenses are like another issue now. So now you also got to make sure who's responsible for paying for the different items, so that you don't get caught short. So now if you're involved in a big brand or promotional campaign and all that now, it's very important that you know and are clear on who's paying for the relevant content. So now it's important information that needs to be all in writing.
All right, so now Avela, this question is directed at you.
Okay.
What do you think is the best way to attract attention from a potential sponsor?
Just be at your best self.
Okay, how so?
Be undeniable, because now I feel like this generation, we feel entitled, we expect favors a lot. So I feel like at whatever you do, your talent, the performance you put out, just be undeniable, straight.
Yeah, man. Speaking of endorsements, man, big shout out to the big homie DJ Spoo, man, for coming through with another Mo Fire, 6-pack and all that, man. I'm so excited because I think you need a Mo Fire, bro.
Yeah, straight.
Okay, word is born.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now, going back to the question that you asked to AV, now, I think it can be very hard to push yourself to the top of the list, but a good way to do this is to create what's called a one sheet, now. So now, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a summary of who you are as an artist, what your assets are, and why you are worth considering for sponsorship or endorsements. Then it's important it's basically important that you have a one-page document. It's not too long, but it won't attract attention that you crave and all that.
Yeah, it should contain a short bio firstly. Member information, your genre of music, and bands or artists you would compare yourself to, as well as links to your music and websites and all your social media channels.
Okay, cool. So now,
Definitely.
So basically, there's also like things like network and all that stuff now. So, but anyways, it's easy to create this whole thing now, either through a Word or Google Documents. But don't go overboard by trying to make yourself sound too like all snazzy and all that. The aim is to give like a bite-sized piece of information about who you are and what you do to give companies, brands a sense of who you are in a short space of time. Because now you don't want to be giving like the paragraph over paragraph, because ain't nobody nobody got time to read that.
Yeah. And another thing I think we should talk about is network.
Okay.
Network is another good point, because I feel like as a brand or as an individual, it's important that you are always networking, because you never know who you might meet up with at the top of the ladder, you know what I mean? And you might not know who's doing what in the game unless you network.
Exactly, man. And speaking of networking now, after the, like, you know, this is basically, we're wrapping this up, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? So now if you want to do more research on this topic, man, just search it up on your plugs, on your internet plugs and all that stuff, and you also learn through doing it, you know? So now you're probably listening to this thinking, nah, but I'm only on the come up, man. I only got like 100 followers. Why do I need to actually like listen to what OV and P gotta say? I'm like, nah, man, we trying to build you for the future so that you know what you're actually working towards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're just opening your perspective on, you know, what it is to you know, basically what you should be looking forward to. So now,
I have a question for Avela.
Okay, cool.
So now, would you say that with everywhere you go, as a brand, as the Stitches brand, do you network with a lot of people?
Yes, I have to. Like with every talent, what you're about, you have to believe in it.
Word.
Yeah, and don't be shy to embarrass yourself. Then why are you doing it anyway? You know, so for me, like, I'm a brand owner, so everywhere I go, I have to put myself like everywhere out there. People that are important, people that are not important, I shouldn't carry that pride. You know, I should approach everyone. I might score a deal. You never know.
You never know.
You just gotta put yourself out there straight.
No, straight up, man.
In the know with OVERYT.
At Bali or Get Up.
And if you don't know, now you know, nigga.